Welcome back to Wrestling Man's Wrestling Show. And if you haven't figured out, there's a substitute host this week. Me, William Outlet. Now, he wanted me to talk about WWE this week, so I am. Now, a very interesting week, no doubt, in WWE besides what happened with Chris Jericho this past week. For one, Ric Flair made his first WWE appearance on television since early summer. Now, some of you quote-unquote people out there think that William Outlet is an imitator of Ric Flair. He's a Ric Flair wannabe. To those I say, you can kiss my ass. William Outlet is not a Ric Flair wannabe. William Outlet is William Outlet. I never aspired to be the next Ric Flair. I'm the first William Outlet, and every other man inspires to be me. And if you ain't down with that, then go find yourself some personality. Now, I gotta tell you, with the whole Ric Flair thing, I thought Ric Flair should have done more this week on Raw than that one segment. I thought he should have done a segment or two from the backstage area. But his promo with Chris Jericho was very good. It was very well done. And to me, you know, Ric Flair's always going to be Ric Flair. But, to tell you the truth, I really hope Ric Flair does not come back to the ring. Ric Flair is probably the greatest wrestler of all time. But I want him to stay retired. I mean, he won the Buford Award from this show for the best wrestling moment of the year last year. And if he comes back to wrestle, it ruins that entire moment. But, knowing Ric Flair, William Outlet believes that he's going to stay retired like he had planned on a long time ago. Now, the other big thing that happened was on ECW. Now, normally I know Bill does not talk about ECW because he doesn't really watch ECW. But when Bill got the call that Christian was on ECW, he had no choice but to turn that TV on. And believe it or not, Christian was on ECW. Now, I know there's a bunch of people out there who don't like the idea that Christian is on ECW instead of Raw or SmackDown. Well, I'm here to tell you, him being on ECW is the right move for this one simple fact. The fact is, if he had come back to Raw or to SmackDown, he would probably be lost in the talent that's already there on both products. Him going to ECW is the best thing because he can now be considered the face of the product. And as far as I'm concerned, I think Christian's going to do just fine in ECW. Now, this Sunday night, Bill tells me there's a big pay-per-view, No Way Out. It's the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania. It is coming to you from Seattle, Washington, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, he also told me that if you don't have pay-per-view capabilities, you can watch this event on WWE.com. It's only $40, plus you get a free preview show. So now, let's get to the card that Bill feels is very important. There's going to be 2 Elimination Chamber matches taking place on this pay-per-view. The World Heavyweight title, that's the one that Raw has. John Cena's going to defend the title. He's got 5 guys to deal with. He's got Kane, Mike Knox, Kofi Kingston, Rey Mysterio, and Chris Jericho. 3 of these men, Bill told me, are going into the chamber for the very first time. But it doesn't come down usually to power. It just comes down to luck. Who gets lucky? And that's going to be the one that William believes and Bill believes will be the champion. The WWE Championship's also on the line. Edge will put up that title, the one representing SmackDown. Undertaker, Triple H, Big Show, Vladimir Kozlov, and Jeff Hardy. Now, Bill said a couple weeks ago that this chamber match was made for Rey Mysterio. William Outlet can tell you right now that this Elimination Chamber match is made for Jeff Hardy. But is he going to win the title? Doesn't necessarily mean that. So you'll just have to wait and see if Jeff does win the title. Now also, there's a no-holds-barred match between Randy Orton and Shane McMahon. Now you can bet that William Outlet back in the day, he's seen a lot of fights happen for women. This isn't about women. This is about a family. And you bet your bottom dollar that Shane McMahon and Randy Orton are going to pull out all the stops. Now Shawn Michaels, he's facing JBL, all or nothing. Basically, if Michaels wins, he's free. If JBL wins, he owns Shawn Michaels forever. Now, owning someone, I'm not a big fan of that. So I'm pulling for Shawn Michaels. And the ECW title on the line as Jack Swagger, who Christian made fun of this past week, and he did a pretty good job of it, I thought. He puts the gold up against Finlay. Now, Finlay, I know he likes to fight. But he's facing a man who's an All-American. He wrestled in college at Oklahoma. And I don't know. I don't know if Finlay's going to be able to hang with Jack Swagger. But, you know, that's Williams' opinion. Now, next week, Bill's going to talk about the results of this pay-per-view and any other things that take place this upcoming week in the WWE. So I'm going to take a break. When I come back, Bill left me some notes about Ring of Honor.